All right, everybody. How's it going out there? Welcome to the Boiler Room. I'm your host. My call sign is Hesher, and I'm here to say, can you feel it? Can you dig it? Learn to protect yourself from predatory mass media cartels and propaganda peddlers. We're all learning every day how to do this, and we over here have been at it a long time in the Boiler Room. So thank you for joining us, all you longtime listeners, and of course, all you new listeners and new viewers out there. We're live on Spreaker. We're live on alternatecurrentradio.com. We're live on Rockfin. What up, Rock? And we're live on YouTube, at least for the first half of tonight's show. And you know what? We've been talking about patterns lately. Patterns was a bit of a theme in last week's Boiler Room and in a lot of my DMs lately with some of my friends and colleagues. There are patterns in the bullshit and so much bullshit in the media. We got patterns in partisan power politics. Ooh, that's a good one for the microphone plosives. Patterns in partisan power politics. What a tongue twister. We've got leftists posing as centrists. We got right-wing rhinos posing as conservatives. We've got patterns in propaganda and the media pumping us with wedge issues right now. We got abortion. We got guns. We got violence. We got J6. We got all this stuff hyper politicized. We got patterns in the military industrial complex we're always looking at around here, right? Patterns. Oh boy, we could talk about some patterns in the military industrial complex. But I think you longtime listeners know what I'm talking about, and you new listeners probably have an inkling of what I'm talking about. Patterns in the votes. Oh my goodness, we had a former Pennsylvania congressman plead guilty to ballot stuffing for Democrats in federal elections. Who'd have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? We got patterns in the Fortune 100. I guess they're rainbow patterns this month, eh? Depending on what country you're in there, though. Yeah, shout out to Anomaly there. That was a great one you did. Anomaly, folks, if you don't know Anomaly, you should follow him on IG and his other platforms. He did this great short video the other day where he showed all the American Fortune 100 countries, profiles with their rainbows behind all their accounts. But then he showed the social media accounts for those same corporations in countries that are not very LGBTQIA plus ABCDEFG friendly. And guess what? Lo and behold, no rainbows. No rainbows if you're in the wrong country. Isn't that funny? All right. Let's see here. What else? We got patterns in mass shootings. Ooh, yeah, we do. Oh boy. Depends how long you've been paying attention to those, though, whether you're seeing the patterns or not. But hey, if you've been listening to the Boiler Room, if you've been listening to my appearances on TNT Radio with Patrick Henningsen or Stop the Presses with Mark Anderson, you probably know where I'm coming from with that. Patterns and dialectics, and that's what we're here to look at. But here in the Boiler Room, we're here to tell you there is a hidden consensus. There is a hidden consensus about propaganda, about media, about COVID, about Ukraine, about gun control, about CRT, about abortion, voting, the rest of the things I mentioned there. And that hidden consensus is, I think, the larger number than the extremists on the right or the left. It's a larger number, as our friends in the Mystical American Patriot Society might call this group, sandwich eaters. All right. Normal people. There's a lot of us out there, and a lot of us are not dumb. A lot of us are thinking, and we're not going to fall for the patterns in the bullshit that the mass media cartel wants to parade in front of us like some sort of sick Rorschach test or something. And again, I'm Hesher, and that hidden consensus means that there are millions of people like me out there in this regard. So what are the imperatives for folks like us? Well, mind the patterns, mind the bull honky, mind the bullshit. All right. So that's what we're here to do tonight in the Boiler Room. Let me introduce everybody, and we'll get started here. Let me open the green room up. Boom. There it is. There's your green room. There's your boiler room tonight. You regulars know who you're looking at here. If you're out there listening on the podcast, let me break it down for you. Up first, we've got the man behind the infamous Daily Ruckus podcast. He goes by Ruckus. There's a Ruckus among us. Ruckus, what's going on? And welcome to the boiler room.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm a little confused because it doesn't look green in here to me. But what do I know? No, but seriously, shout out to everyone in the live chats everywhere. I mean, we are everywhere. This is crazy. Joe Rogan, eat your heart out. We're on YouTube, Rockfin, Spreaker, alternatecurrentradio.com. Goodness knows where else right now. So shout out to everyone, and shout out to everyone in the green room because we have a lot of them. So let's get around to them, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a full stacked house tonight. Up next, we're going to welcome the Wandering Wolf back to the boiler room. Mr. Corey Drayton, welcome back to the boiler room. It's great to see you, my friend. It's been a few weeks, and we're very excited to have you back in the room with us tonight.
Hey, thanks, Hesher. It's so good to be back. It's fantastic to be back in the boiler room here. I'm really looking forward to decoding the matrix code and decoding the patterns that we see there and derive some meaning in the madness. So I'm all strapped in. I've got my media cloaking device primed and set. The board is green, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Thanks for having me back.
All right. Yeah, man. We got your 5x5. Know right where you're coming from. Super glad to have you with us tonight and looking forward to getting into it. Up next, we have the man behind the Sole Purpose podcast and behind all the awesomeness that are Alternate Current Radio and West Lexicon video edits. His handle is MindSpaceArt. MindSpace, welcome back to the boiler room. How the heck you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Too kind. But let's be honest. Come on. The boiler room is pretty awesome. And what we've got rolling out over the past few weeks has been great. And it's been a pleasure to be involved in the process here. So I know that we've got so much more to come. And unlike the lamestream media, we're not posers here in the boiler room. So we can stand on that and be proud, no matter where we come from, what our background is. You know, we meet here in this space to make it happen. So like Wandering Wolf said there, let's decode the patterns and get into it here tonight.
All right. Yeah, we'll decode the patterns and see if we can't shuffle some of the bullshit aside here in the boiler room tonight. Let's see. Up next, we've got the man behind the amazing Oddcast. His handle is Oddman Out. Oddman, welcome back to the boiler room. It's great to have you tonight.
What's up, my friend? It's so good to be around my fellow useless eaters, and I can't wait to talk with you guys tonight and kind of take apart what's going on in our insane world and kind of hopefully give some people who are watching and listening some solace and maybe make them laugh a little bit and help them to realize that they have like-minded people that they can listen to and watch and even contact, and hopefully give them a little hope and a little direction if they need it.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Very glad you're able to join us tonight. Everybody, be sure you are subscribed to the Oddcast, to Sole Purpose, to the Daily Ruckus, and Mystical American Patriot Society, Boiler Room, Sunday Wire. Everything we got going over here at Alternate Current Radio is top notch, and I hope everybody's signed up for all of the individual podcasts on the podcasting apps. Yeah, we got a big room tonight. Up next, we've got the Boiler Room resident scientist, one of the OG Boiler Roomers here with us. His handle is Infidel Pharaoh. Infidel, welcome back to the Boiler Room. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. Excited to be here with you guys and spread few words to encourage people to be critical thinkers again, and hopefully we unite on back as a nation so that we can get our country back.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. We're in a mess right now. We have an absolute mess going on. So much to cover. Once a week, it's really hard to get everything in, but we do what we can. That's Infidel Pharaoh, everybody. Let's see. Up next, let's see. I hope he's got his ears on. We've got a combat landing from Chopper right here. Chopper, welcome back to the boiler room. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. It's great to have you with us again tonight. Looking good there in the background. I like it. You got a nice ocean scene going.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're getting luxurious in here. I mean, it's hot, so I might as well pretend like I'm somewhere bitching like this nice beach or something.
Right? Yeah, you may as well tropical it up a little bit, man.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm stoked. Glad to be here. It's been a minute since I could join you guys much. So
Yeah.
thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, we're really glad to have you. Hey, if you can you bump your gain up just a tick or so there? You're a little bit lower than everybody else. If you can do that.
Yes, sir. Give me one moment here and we'll try that.
All right, cool. While you do that, I will go ahead
How's that?
introduce. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. Thanks.
Is that better?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, good.
All right. Yeah, my meters are looking nice and fuzzy right now. Fuzzy and warm. Just like you, Chopper. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, everybody. We have a very full room tonight, and that leads me to the one and only, the very lovely, the curator of all things Whiskey Tango Foxtrot on the interwebs. Her call sign is the lovely Spore. Lovely Spore, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we are so happy to have you tonight. Look at that wonderful room right there. There it is, everybody. You got your boiler room right there on the screen if you're viewing us tonight on Rockfin or YouTube. By the way, YouTube, second part of the show will probably be a Rockfin exclusive. But yeah, we'll link you to where that is, or you can find it on the website, of course, during the intermission. All right. Well, let's see here. So, Spore.
Yes.
You and I had a cool experience today out and about, right?
Yeah, it was a good day, right?
Yeah, we had a pretty nice day out and about. And how shall I kick this segment off? Well, I guess I'll just kick it off with a shout out to Foul Mouth Veteran, the Foul Mouth Veteran. You can find him on YouTube. There's his channel right there. So everybody, do me a favor, get on over there and subscribe to that one right there, and leave him a comment. Tell him that Hesher and Spore sent you, or the Boiler Room sent you. I've been watching this channel now for like 3 days. I think I discovered this channel on Monday. It is now Thursday, and I've watched as much as I could squeeze in between podcasts and editing and such. And how can I describe this channel? It's a Foul Mouth Veteran is a First Amendment auditor, which was a term I had not used or heard used before I came across this channel. I'll let Spore tell you a little bit about how we found the channel and stuff in a moment here. But for anyone that doesn't know, a First Amendment auditor is similar to what I used to. I think there was a website called Cop Block back in the day, and it was like citizens that would go around and just exercise their First Amendment right, legal right to film police doing what they're doing out there. And yeah, so some of you are probably familiar with that, or channels like that. But Foul Mouth Veteran hit my radar mostly because I was doing so much Uvalde research, and then we had someone turn us on to this channel, right, Spore?
Yeah. So Hesher tells me about this on Monday. He's been talking with his dad a lot about the tragedy that happened in Uvalde, the event there. And so they've been both, hounding at it, like trying to figure out what's going on, looking at all the news and trying to decipher what went wrong, all that stuff, and exchanging videos, things like that. And Hesher's dad, Don Gennaro, big shout out to you. We love you and we miss you and we're so grateful for you. Don Gennaro sent him a link to the Foul Mouth Veteran. Turns out Foul Mouth Veteran lives in our town. So we've been talking a lot about it and watching videos. He actually, Hesher's told me quite a bit about it. I haven't seen any videos until today, and we saw this. He showed me this video of the Foul Mouth Veteran at the Veterans Administration, and he was going in there for an appointment, and the cops told him that he wasn't allowed in there without a mask. I mean, here we are, over 2 years into this thing. I mean, I haven't had somebody ask me to put on a mask in our area for probably about 2 years. And at the VA, they were basically acting like they were going to beat him up for not wearing a mask, and he couldn't do his appointment. So part of the reason that has showed me this video is because this guy's awesome and makes fun, interesting and smart videos. And he also wanted me to see what he looked like in case, because it's a small town here. So we actually drove by the Veterans Administration today and saw the same flags and everything that we see in our town. And it was on his video today, and we're talking about it. And lo and behold, we go to the grocery store on the way home from our errands, and there he is, like by the dairy. And
We were like, for a couple days now, we were like, I bet we'll run into that guy eventually. Like, we'll probably recognize him if we see him. And we're at the store tonight, and it was just like we turned the corner. And I looked over my shoulder, and I'm like, is that the foul-mouthed veteran by the milk?
So him and his wife were shopping there, and we just went up to him. We're like, wow, we've just been talking about you and watching your videos for the last 3 days. So synchronistic. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, very synchronistic. Let me give you guys a taste. Do you guys in the boiler room you want to see a taste of what his content's like here? Get a view of our town too. This is check this out. I hope he doesn't mind that I play some of his content, but tell me if you do, dude. I won't do it again. But I don't think it's that kind of thing. He's partnered with other First Amendment auditors, I've noticed, and they all seem to do really good work. And these guys don't take any shit. And I appreciate that. So here, check this out. I'll give you guys a glimpse. And I really appreciated this one, and I think you guys will too, and our listeners that have been with us through the 2 weeks, 2.5 years, the 2 weeks, whatever. I think you guys will see why this video stuck out to me. But here, check it out. This is from his one of his uploads from yesterday. Oh, I suppose I should unmute.
So you guys are kicking me out because I won't put a mask on. You told me that you would cite me upstairs. That's coercion.
It's called failure to comply with VA directives.
Dude, the governor has already said that this stuff is over with. And the
federal property.
I understand. Even that mask order is done even across the United States. This guy's shaking over here, wants to go hands-on with me because of a mask. Escalate to violence all the time, dude.
I haven't touched you, sir. Yelled at you.
What's your name, sir?
I'm not giving you my name. I'm out of here, dude.
No, you have to identify yourself.
No, I don't, Rhodes. Under reasonable articulate suspicion of a crime.
You are under suspicion of a crime.
What crime?
VA directive.
Okay, I'm leaving.
You're not allowed to leave.
What are you talking about?
Right now, we're talking to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Doesn't matter whether you want to or not.
So you want to detain me all of a sudden because I asked you what your name and badge number was, and I told you I was going to go file a
Name
complaint.
badge number 5127 Rhodes.
Perfect.
And my
I'm not having no issue with you, Farley.
All right.
I
Can I
don't.
at least get your name?
No,
That's
dude.
what I'll call you, sir.
What are you talking about? Sir's respectful, dude.
It is.
Are you fixing to go hands-on with me?
I'm not.
Dude, you were literally about to go hands-on with me.
No,
I saw
I'm
your
not.
hands raise up.
I'm not going.
I'm trying to
hands-on with
leave so I
nobody.
can go to my appointment on a computer
Right.
before I go out because this
If
guy
you
kicked me
would-
out.
if you would
Nobody
listen
kicked
to
you
me,
out.
You just did.
Nobody kicked
Under
you out.
under threat of citation. That's coercion.
Nobody's asked you to leave.
He just told me if I didn't leave that he was going to go hands-on with me and give me a ticket.
Would you at least stop and talk to me?
I don't want to talk to you. I'm trying to go to my appointment
Right,
on
and I'm
phone
trying to
call.
help you.
I don't want your
Finish
help anymore.
appointment.
I don't want your help anymore, Farley. What's your badge number? I'm trying to leave so I can go to my appointment because this guy wants to go hands-on. Look, he's shaking, dude. What's wrong with you, man?
What's wrong with you?
I'm a free American exercising my free rights as a good citizen,
You're on
dude.
federal property.
And look at you, dude.
It's private property.
Always want to go violent with people, man. They always want to go violent with people, dude. They can't help themselves. See you, gents. Hey, thanks for letting me get my mental health today, Rhodes. I appreciate that, bud. I will be filing formal complaint against you. Please do. Wow. You see what I'm talking about, dude?
You're making no sense, guy.
You're a joke, dude. Yeah, follow me. Follow me. Follow me, pull me out, tase me, harass me. That's real good service, man. That's real good service. You guys are supposed to be brothers too, but yet I can't even go seek mental health because of this crap. I don't need to talk to you to go seek help. If you want to wear the realistic shame muzzle, then you can. I'm not. Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate you gentlemen helping me. You're going to be all over YouTube. Check it out. Seriously, you think I'm joking?
He ain't joking. He was not joking. They're all over YouTube. Man, woo, foul mouth veteran. You are intense, my friend. You are intense, my friend. And you know what? I've always had a very how can I put this? I've had a very if there's one place that maybe I sit on the fence a little bit, it's with the cops because I come from a cop family. You know what I mean? But even my family that was involved with law enforcement were treated terribly by their departments. So, you know, it's like on the one hand, I try to give the cops the benefit of the doubt, but I'm really glad there are people like you out there, foul mouth veteran, keeping it real, people that understand the law, people that understand their rights. It's important. It's really important. And, you know, I would love to show you guys his Uvalde stuff, but you're going to have to go check it out yourselves because it's detailed. It's a little bit longer. So I highly recommend people subscribe. Once again, if you're joining us late, please do a subscription over here at this page right there on YouTube, Foul Mouth Veteran. That's where you can find him. And if you look in his videos here, this one in particular, Uvalde PD / FMV and NQA surrounded. That one's great for 2 cameras. That one's really interesting. Get some insight into what's going on down there in Uvalde. He actually drove down there and made some content and confronted some of the PD out there, asked them some questions, and let them know how he felt about the job that they did back there on the 24th. So there you go. There you have it. Bit of intrigue and excitement in our day there. It was nice to run into someone who's been concerned with some of the same things that we're concerned with over here. Spore, anything else you want to throw into that before we do our icebreaker article?
Oh, just a shout out to his wife too. Really good vibes with both of them. It was nice to meet them.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I guess maybe I should throw it to the group before we go and break ice. Anyone want to throw anything out there? Any responses to what you just saw?
I'm curious because you guys said that you were like, oh, I wonder if we'll run into him. And then you did run into him. That's a little sus. Are you guys like, are you a warlock, Hesher? Spore? Are you a witch? You guys been practicing that astrology stuff that I heard about thanks to Oddman out?
It doesn't make anything happen.
No.
I'm just a witch.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely some synchronicity going on there. Infidel, what do you think, man?
I just want to throw something out there. You know, I actually got encountered with some really douchey cops before on so many occasions. Not to say all of them are this way and that I don't appreciate police. But part of, we saw that even during COVID, right? Do you guys remember all the cops that were going around and like arresting, like, remember that mom that got arrested by cops and all those cops that like felt that they are the enforcer of the mask mandates?
Yeah.
If there is a meaning for that badge, right? And what this mean is you need to defend that constitution, that oath that you take to defend the people, and defend the liberty that this nation was founded under. You know, there are a lot of bad apples out there. A lot of people just feel, you know, they want to feel the power, and it's in every position of power, or any job that you have a position of power, right? People, the bad apples will feel empowered and they will try to push it. But any cop out there that try to push anything unconstitutional, I would say shame on you, and you do not deserve that badge.
Yeah, man. I love that. And I was surprised actually when I saw that video where he's interacting with these guys over the shame muzzle, the ritual shame muzzle. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I think That's right in line with some of the terms that we've come up with here too. But yeah, to see that like happening now in June, like in the sweltering heat of 2022, and that's a VA appointment. You know what I mean? Like for those cops, I don't know if those were local PD or if they were like base cops, but I don't really care. That is so uncool to treat our veterans that way inside the VA. You know, like that's bullshit. That is total bullshit. That's
Especially since, I mean, as he said in the video, this is not, it's there's no law here. It's been outlawed that they can even do that sort of thing here. There is no law that you have to wear a mask anywhere. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's like there's not even a mandate anymore. I forget the term that the officers used there, but did not sound like a arrestable term. Did not sound like anything you would need to go hands on with a United States military veteran over. Like you should. That is shameful. That is quite literally shameful work. I'm embarrassed to see that here in Texas, and I'm not even a Texas native, and I'm still embarrassed to see some sort of law enforcement treating our veterans that way at the VA of all places. My goodness. I could see them have an attitude with him when he's doing his work on the street and all that. And boy, do they. And boy, does he not care. You got to love it. But yeah, that's just garbage. That is total garbage to treat our veterans that way. So shame on them.
Got to wear a
They were
mask.
just trying to help them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ruckus.
But he was on federal property.
Right, yeah. Right.
And I mean, I guess like when I'm watching that clip, I'm just thinking as I'm seeing these cops, like, don't just be a bobblehead. I mean, I think that the guy made a good accusation towards the end, kind of calling them out as Americans and being like, yo, what are you doing here? Is this appropriate behavior? And also for being a foul-mouthed veteran, he was, pretty respectful with his words and his conduct. What freaked me out about that clip, though, was the fact that you could tell that because he has some experience with this type of situation and talking to law enforcement, that he was able to, rhetorically cite all the things which might give him some added protection in the case, which was kind of staving them off from acting. And also that he had the situational awareness to be able to tell that they seemed physically activated to try and potentially do something. And had he not had that situational awareness and that attentiveness, compare that to like a layperson in the public who does not have that type of acumen and understanding of that type of a scenario. And it could have gone down way differently, So again, don't be a bobblehead. Like, why enforce these things when, I guess like there's limited evidence really that it winds up being a thing where are you just going to follow the orders because and just stick to these rules arbitrarily? Or are you going to retain some sense of like values and, camaraderie with the citizenry instead of, like that to me was a demonstration of where the temperature is potentially with a lot of the law enforcement in the country to where it's on a hair trigger and there's a feeling of conflict, and especially in a situation with somebody who's a veteran, like at the VA, like it looks bad on so many levels. But I'd say that that's just a microcosm of a bigger problem.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's a really bad look. Chopper, what'd you think about that, man? How'd that one sit with you?
Those guys are lame. But he clowned them, and then they're trying to tell him that I like how they're trying to. We're just trying to help you, dude. Trying to help you, and then tells him he's confused and doesn't make sense. He made perfect sense to me. I thought, like MindSpaceArt said, it looked like he could tell he's used to these kind of situations. But yeah, I don't think they're looking to help him at all.
Yeah, man. I mean, what the hell was that? They went from we're gonna cite you to you're being detained to you can't leave to we're trying to help you to, you know what I mean? It's just like that line of verbal judo, if you will, or verbal voodoo, maybe more likely, that could seriously confuse someone who wasn't prepared for it, you know, and I could see someone talking themselves into handcuffs if they didn't know how to respond to some of that verbal voodoo there. I wish I could call it verbal judo, but I can't.
he basically like, yeah, he just didn't listen to him. Like if somebody would have been, oh, okay, I'm detained, I'm cited, you know, then you'd have been detained and cited, I guess. Seems like.
Right.
And then like you said, then it shifts to we're trying to help you. Get out of here with that.
Is that because you guys know you're going to be on YouTube? All of a sudden you're helpers instead of arresters?
Yeah, we're gonna help you into the back of the car after we bash you up a little bit.
Right?
It's like,
oh my
come
goodness.
on,
Yeah. What about you, Corey? What do you think of that, man?
That was an interesting one indeed. You know, and the first thing that came to my mind was how this sort of rule by fiat that takes place in police interactions, you know, it's something that really only exists if the police are able to reasonably assume that people don't know their rights. If people have no idea what the parameters and what the coordinates are in a given situation when you're dealing with law enforcement, whether it's on federal property or not. And I have to commend him for at least being able to have, like MindSpace said, the degree of situational awareness to recognize what was going on somatically with the other officers. Oh, he kept saying, "You're shaking." So he was able to sort of point out to them that they were activated and understand the kind of energetic dynamic that was playing out. And it's really amazing work. And, you know, I kept thinking to myself, you know, everyone needs this kind of training because, you know, we live in this litigious society and we live in a culture where everyone's walking around with these cameras. And you would think that the police would have a degree of discernment that they could exercise, saying, you know, okay, if I'm going to go into a situation, I could be recorded, it could end up on YouTube, it could be edited, it could be taken out of context. So I need to have a protocol for how I'm interacting with this individual. And, you know, conversely, people having police interactions, if everyone had enough training to be able to recognize what was going on in a situation, the state of mind that the, let's say, the opponent or adversary, a person that you're interacting with their state of mind is, and how that's showing up physically, we could preempt a lot of these clashes that get blown out of proportion in the media. So I really have to commend him for his presence of mind. And I think the last thing too is, you know, to your point about verbal voodoo, you know, when people continuously change their stories and they change their tack, you know, they're lying. And so I really wonder if this was a situation where law enforcement they just had no game plan and they were just throwing everything at the wall to see if something stuck, or if they were operating with some more nefarious aim in mind. It's a very, very compelling clip.
Yeah, it really is. And he's really good at that policy stuff. You know, I was watching another one on here where he was working in this one town where he had read the PD's internal policy, so he knew their own rules of engagement. And he was, and in this particular county, I can't remember which one it was. I have it on here somewhere, but in this particular county, if you ask a cop to show you his ID card, it's in their own policies that they have to produce it. And it was so cool the way he was just like, he's like, I think that's a stupid rule, you know, but hey, it's you guys' rule. So, you know, let me see your ID card. And he had a cop say no. And he was able to cite like chapter and verse, you know, almost the page that that their policy was on. And yeah, you bet he went in and filed a report against that guy. So, you know, it's a very thorough work that he's doing. It's very thorough work and it's very impressive. Oddman, I gotta wonder how many veterans those two officers have interacted with there that don't have a YouTube account, that aren't filming this, and what those guys have been going through for the last 2.5 years. I mean, that's kind of frightening, right? Seeing the way that they operate.
Yeah, it is, man. It reminds me of when I was a little bit younger. One of the places I worked, I would have to go to the local VA every now and then, and it was the most solemn, depressing place. And the people there, you could tell they just hated their job. And I would notice when I would go in there that they weren't very nice to the vets. And I'm sure that there are good people too that work in those places, but you know, these younger guys, the younger generation, they I don't think they know. They might think they know what the Constitution is and the Bill of Rights, but I have to wonder if many of them do, even if they're in law enforcement. And I just don't think that they care about that like our previous generations did. And even then, there were problems. And it's really cool to see him handle it the way he did. And to what Mindspace was saying, I kept thinking when they were saying, well, this is federal property, these guys have been kind of conditioned to believe that federal property, it's almost like this sacred ground that, this kingdom, this fiefdom that we've allowed the federal government to build. And these guys are defending it as if it should override the state, which it shouldn't. I think that's one of our problems, but I can't wait to watch some more of his videos and check out his stuff now.
Yeah. Again, if anyone's just joining, here's the page. Get on over there and subscribe, and he'll point you to others that he works with, other people he collaborates with and does similar work with. And Chef Jake in the chat knows one of the guys at another one called Questionable Authority, so that's probably worth checking out too. Thanks, Chef Jake. I'm going to bookmark that one and check that out as well. All right, anyone else want to throw in on that before we do an icebreaker? Ruckus, go for it.
One last jab, because he was trolling those cops pretty hard, but not hard enough in my opinion, especially for being called foul-mouthed veteran. So I won't be foul-mouthed about it, but the whole mask thing, they seemed like, I think the one guy was shaking partly because I think he's scared. I think these cops, those guys they're wearing the mask because they believe in the mask, is what I think. And I think maybe they might be a little frightened because recently they came back from like a long vacation together at a bathhouse. Anyway, worried about the monkeypox maybe. But seriously, I think they should take the way that those guys acted and superimpose that, put some clips together. Maybe MindSpaceArt could do this with some of the cops and how heroically they performed in Uvalde, like tackling those parents and tasering them, and use that as a recruitment ad. Come join the force, kiddos.
Yeah, you can abuse parents of young children and veterans if you join Uvalde Police Department. Hey, they may have some openings soon, right? I don't know where the internal investigation is going to go. But
and
I hope
what? At the coronation ceremony, they might actually have someone like Matthew McConaughey show up and deliver the address.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. McConaughey, the lost Texas son. All right. Well, okay. So here in the boiler room, normally we kick off with an icebreaker, and I think it's time to get to that. Spore, what are you breaking ice with tonight? Oh boy, I already know what it is, and oh boy, I already don't know what to say.
You're right. This might be a ice builder one. I don't know. So this one is from Derpscan. Derp. We love you, dude. He put a video in the icebreaker suggestion area. I did not watch the video. I don't like listening to people talk about icebreakers before we talk about them on the boiler room because I don't want to be influenced. So I found an article about this, and a company out of Los Angeles, of all places, called Intimina, has produced a new cereal for children called Period Crunch. So this company is hoping to kill the social stigma surrounding intimate topic of menstruation by discussing it in another intimate location, the kitchen. Intima, a company that provides a comprehensive collection of products and information for women, unveiled its newest line of uterus-shaped Period Crunch cereal.
Oh no, uterus-shaped cereal?
Yeah, do you have a link to this, Hesh? Because I'll put it, because you should probably see what
Yeah, do me a solid, drop me that link, and I'll put it on screen for everybody. I was gonna, I was just gonna ask what flavor they are. Are they strawberry? They're red, that's for
I
sure.
think they're period flavored.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay, let me put that on the screen. There you go.
The
Oh,
company says the product was created out of necessity to normalize the very normal and regular act of menstruation that millions of women experience every month. Did you hear that? They said women experience.
what is a woman?
I don't know. We should be careful about that because, from my understanding, men can have periods now too.
But like Maps told us, we are not a biologist, so who are we to say what a woman is, right, Spore?
Right, exactly. What about chromosomes? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything's about science until you get to that subject. Anyways, Intima tweeted out, "We created Period Crunch to encourage families to discuss menstruation more openly, even at the breakfast table. If periods were truly normalized, then they wouldn't be off this table or off any table for that matter."
Are there any other bodily functions that we need to normalize at the breakfast table that are going to churn my stomach? Or I mean,
I'm just gonna say that I'm sorry, periods are normal. They've always been normal. So I don't know what the fuck they mean by normalize it. Like, it's never been abnormal for women to have periods, and I don't think it's ever been like a super taboo, but I don't think that it's also needed to be discussed at breakfast in the morning unless maybe your teenager's going through it and is having like a tough day with it or whatever. But like eating uteruses, and do you see what those things look like? They look like little dicks and balls. Am I wrong there? Or
no, you're onto something, I'm afraid. Yeah,
Maybe they're trying to normalize cannibalism.
Oh, there's something.
I'm with Spore. Like, that was my burning question. Since when is women having a period not normalized? I don't.
Yeah, like
I missed that memo. It seems pretty normal to me. I didn't.
I think that women have been doing that since the beginning of women, and that's really normal, right?
Right.
Yeah, but again, what is a woman? We're not a biologist.
That's the thing that's changing. It's like, yeah.
So eat uterus for breakfast.
Yeah. I guess we can be cannibals. We can go with that. We can symbolically eat the uteruses for breakfast. Last week was it last week or week before? It was eat the bugs, and now it's eat the uterus. So,
and I wonder what the ingredients are. I mean, look at their like fluorescent red dye number 5.
Yeah, are these uteri healthy? I mean, and
probably designed to make you not have a period, right?
Exactly.
And by the way, the preferred pronoun is uteri. So you guys are saying uteruses, and it's too many s's. Okay, so I just want to clarify that for the audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there like endocrine blockers in there? I mean, are these things good for the uterus? I gotta wonder.
I doubt it.
Highly doubt it.
It looks like garbage food to me, probably full of sugar, red dye, soy, garbage.
Ruckus, what do you think the prize is at the bottom of one of these boxes? Is there a toy?
If there is, it was probably made by the Goop company.
Oh yes, of course.
And if you save the what's the UPC symbols as the proof of purchase on 50 boxes, you can send that in for a teledildonic device. I think this cereal is grossly unfair, especially considering it's Pride Week and all that. Some women folks do not have uteruses, so I find that to be completely unfair. Who is this cereal company thinking they're playing biologist by forcing this concept that only women are the only uterus women? That's it. There's nothing else in between, right?
Totally
that's that's unfair. But knowing companies and whatnot and how long it takes to produce these things, it looks to me like that could have been quite a number of different cereals ready to go on the shelf in a different box, and then they went with this one. is what I'm thinking. It could be like a T-bone steak cereal. Huh? It could be what else could it be? I don't know, but you see what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a uterus.
Right.
And Chopper beat me to the cannibal thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe all kidding aside, maybe the prize inside is like an old school CD of Nirvana's In Utero.
Oh, there you go. All right.
That would be pretty epic. I
Dave
would buy
Grohl.
a box just for that.
I know Dave Grohl, you listen to the Boiler Room all the time. So see what we can do about that. Maybe we can get an In Utero CD in there at the bottom of the box. Oh man, Wandering Wolf, how about you, man? Any reaction to this period crunch? My God, they couldn't even come up with a better name than period crunch. That's horrible.
We have a better name in our chat from just cause Rag Crunch.
Rag Crunch. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, another good name might be Crimson Kibble. I looked at the photo of this cereal. It looks a bit like cat food. It looks a little bit like your standard kitty kibble. And also, to your point, Spore, about you made a reference to the clitoris. It actually looks like that too, because pro tip, kids, it's not just the button in front; it goes all the way back. So it does look like that. But it's interesting with this one. This isn't even original because so if you look back at the history of breakfast cereals, the reason that breakfast cereals were even invented in the first place was as a way of combating the grim problem of masturbation. Because it was believed that, guys were wanking too much. And so the only way to curb them of that habit was to introduce a bland, boring diet. And so that's really kind of the only reason we had breakfast cereals in the first place.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's not the most original move. Definitely odd, strange, disgusting. The agency behind it has way too much time in their hands. And they should be embarrassed.
Yeah, man. Trying to bland out the uterus. That's terrible. How dare you? How dare you bland out the uterus? Oddman, what do you think? You going to go buy some of this for the family? Open up some discussions at the breakfast table or what?
Hey, kids, there was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had so many kids, her uterus fell out. Oh, man, it's just too insane to even. I mean, I'd love to have been in that boardroom when they got the idea and the guy's like, I got this great idea, Then everybody else is like, oh, cool, tell us. And then he tells them and they actually like it and approve it. It's like, what kind of maniacs were in that room at that one, point? It's crazy, man. We're living in clown world doesn't even begin to describe it. It's insane. And you have to be insane to fit in. And I don't want to fit in.
Nope. Happy to be a social reject in times like these.
I kind of want to know, like, the parents that are like serving this to their kids. How is that presented to them? Oh, they're shaped like uterus. So it's just like you're eating your own body. If you're a female or if you're a male, like, it's like so, I don't know. It's messed up. Like it's just wrong. Like to think that that's a fun and cute way to talk about, like, whatever it might be, puberty or whatever, or just the female body is by eating little sweet food dyed crunchy parts of it.
I mean, it would have been maybe a little less abrasive if it would have been like the birds and the bees crunch. You could put blue birds and yellow bees in there. And then if a parent wanted to, they could go into the birds and the bees. But no, I don't think we're headed in that direction here.
Or it's not going to lick itself.
Oh
no.
Are we going to talk about
that? Maybe. We'll see if we get there. Infidel Pharaoh, I hear that we have a food shortage inbound. Maybe this will be the only cereal available once the food shortage hits. Wouldn't that be creepy and ironic?
Yeah, you can also mush it and give it to kids as formula, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's a marketing gimmick. That's what I say. I just want to go back to that question you asked, what a woman is, and it seems really a lot of people cannot answer that question right now.
You think it's because they're afraid to? Are they afraid of being canceled or being unpolitically correct?
I think they are just confused, to be honest. People are confused right now. I think
Oh no, we're beyond fear and into confusion. Is that what you're saying?
I honestly think that sadly they confuse big part of the population, and as you said, they brainwash them to the matter that it is not biology anymore. It's not the uterus that define you as a woman. It's whatever you choose to be. I don't know. I posted a clip for that Matt Walsh movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's pretty good. So I'm gonna watch it. It's called What a Woman Is.
Yeah, I watched a couple of short clips from it and an interview with him subsequent to its release, and it, yeah, not a huge Daily Wire fan, but that one looks worth it, just for the lulls. You know, it looked like it was, and talk about an open goal, right? Like he goes and talks to these people, and it's just like he knows what he's going to get into.
Yep.
And oh man, it's pretty epic from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's interesting. But it's that like melting of everything that is reality around us, right? And making issues out of nothing. Like they are saying that there is an issue, and that article you just posted, Spore. They're saying there is an issue around like discussing like women period. I have not seen any issues around that.
I know. What is this, 1922?
Yeah, and the only issue actually that I found is what they create by saying that not only women have periods, that men can have periods. This is the only issue I found, which is completely crazy. Yeah, but of course, someone is going to jump on it and create a marketing gimmick to just get everybody, a bunch of those liberals to buy it, and a bunch of the, people that are against it to talk about it and give it more publicity so that the other side go buy it. It's a way to generate money. That's how I see it.
Yeah, a way to generate money under the woke banners, all the woke banners out there.
Using a disgusting food, to be honest. Cereal is disgusting food.
If somebody needs to go buy cereal to talk to their children about, their bodies and changes and things like that, there's something wrong with that parent, frankly.
Yep.
Who's going to talk to them about proper diet? Because
right.
Obviously, if you need this gimmick to talk to them about their bodily functions, then proper diet is not even on the radar.
It's far from it if they're buying that in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how am I going to talk to my son about sex talk now? Like I'm already start like envisioning what am I going to get.
And tell him that's how babies shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just at a loss.
Or just maybe go and buy like some like bachelor party shaped dick candy and just like talk. I just don't know. It's
there
so
you go.
weird.
Yeah, seriously. Chef Jake says their kid won't be listening because they're all jacked up on sugar. Yeah.
That's right, man. Do
Absolutely,
not feed
Jake.
your kids.
Andrew's got some good potential titles here. We've got Wank Loops and this one's Bloody Encrusted Flakes.
Great. That's very appetizing.
Right? Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, just as appetizing as period crunch. Well, I don't know. It might be more or less.
If they switched, actually like made it crunch period, I think it actually would have been a better name, right? Because it's like crunchy and period just to like emphasize it. And so it's like period crunch. It just is my thought.
Crunch period.
Crunch period.
I like yours too, Oddman. Honey bunches of I have a cramp. I'm gonna go with they should have called it the premenstrual princess palette. You know, they could have named the business that.
Does it come with like some sort of like cool cottony cylinder that you can use to help clean the red liquid that's left over in the bowl with?
I don't know. That's a good question. Great question. Okay, so this company, everybody send them an email. Tell them you heard about it on the Boiler Room. Yeah, what is the prize? We all want to know what the prize at the bottom is.
This is where we reveal who the new Boiler Room sponsors are, actually.
Yeah, get on out there with code Boiler Room and get yourself some period crunch, everybody.
Yeah, Intima. I wonder what other kind of products they sell.
Oh, that's a good question, Chopper. Someone out there needs to look into that for us and report back. I bet we could do multiple icebreakers based on this one company's business model.
Right. I bet there's some interesting. I mean, they're willing to put out period crunch
Right.
to normalize periods.
Yeah. I mean, if they're all about equality, there should be something for the boys, right? Is there a boys version of this breakfast cereal?
They might. I hate to think of what they might call that, but
Yeah, me too.
Crunchy balls. I mean, it's got to be like something like, you know, like
Nuts would definitely be in the title somewhere.
yes, yeah.
There you go. How about salty nuts? We'll go with salty nuts.
Ah, that's too plain. Come on.
All right, I could do better.
Maybe like peanut butter. I can't even say
these
it.
nuts.
Butter balls.
I was going to say peanut butter prostate crisps or something like that.
Boner brand. Boner brand. That's what
I got it. Testicle O's.
Testios.
TOs. Oh, I like that one.
Timmer says bowl full of nuts. All right, there you go. Thanks, Timmer.
I would just call it these nuts.
Would you like these nuts for breakfast today?
Yes.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyone else before we descend into utter chaos here?
Yeah, I went to Intima.
Yes, them.
What's the name of this company? Is it Intiminia or Intima?
Intimina.
Intimina. So they sell female products. So like, you know, those cups, period cups and stuff like that. That's what they sell.
All right.
So they are not a food company.
Well, now they are.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, you're right. They sell. Let's see here. I'll show you guys.
Well, it's definitely not food that I see in the picture.
They sell the cups. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that is their bread and butter there. I don't see anything about their food. What do they got under Wonder Girls? They got a guidebook.
Oh my
Meet the
gosh, they should serve the period crunch in the period cup. For breakfast. So it's just like more normal, you know, in that way. You know, girls will be like really familiar with their brand.
Yeah, it's like a little a mini bowl of cereal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Hey, Hesher, click on the Wonder Girls tab.
Yeah, they've got this whole guidebook for girls here. Interesting. I'm afraid to know. I'm afraid to know what's in their audio book. Meet the Heroes. Okay. Yeah, audio book there. Wonder Girl guidebook. Parents, you might want to scan that one before you let your kids listen to that particular audio book. I'm not sure about this company.
And then they have a green Timina.
Yeah, green Tamina.
So it's their green agenda.
You would think so. It sounds like that. Oh, it kind of is. You're a menstrual waste calculator. Global change starts with every individual, and we want to be the initiator of that change. It can be seen in nature, but your bank account too.
You know, period cups have been around for a long time, and a lot of females like them, and I have nothing against them personally. But these people, their marketing tactic is just ridiculous. Because I've never heard of them, but I've known about period cups for, you know, probably 2 decades. And it just sounds like they've got a vicious marketing team that is willing to do anything to get some attention to them.
Yeah, they're up in all the big Fortune 100 companies too. Look at this: Walgreens, Walmart, Target, Pharmaca, Lucky Vitamin, Rite Aid, London Drugs. So probably not a far stretch to go looking at their board of directors there. There you go. So you can see that. I'm guessing their board is probably a revolving door with all of these companies, and every single one of these companies has a wonderful ESB rating for all of their rainbowed profile pictures on social media and all that good stuff that you would expect from
And
a
don't forget,
compliant.
when you guys check out your products at Intima, type ACR code 20 for 20% off, and we get a kickback. No, I'm just kidding, folks. Totally not. Not at all.
Our new sponsor.
Major kickbacks.
Right, we need a sponsor, man. We really need a sponsor. Intima, how about it? We'll change our tune. We won't clown you so much. Just explain it to us. Just please explain this to us. It's going over a lot of our heads here, I think.
I mean, I really haven't. I can't think of another time like I've thought of like anybody's human organs being turned into a cereal or like a candy or something like that, and being like, oh, that's fun to eat.
Yeah, it's totally a marketing gimmick. That's their campaign right there.
It's a marketing gimmick, and this is something else. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Just as I've been in a lot of pitches with a lot of agencies lately, and I'm beginning to suspect that part of what's going on is that you have certain startups and small brands and small companies who sort of exist to be virtue signaling fodder for other companies. So a small company will create a product, and then that will get picked up by your Target, your Walmart, your Asda, like whatever the big stores, the big brands are, so they can virtue signal and say, oh, hey, we're supporting these woke brands with a woke product. And it becomes this sort of self-fulfilling churn. I'm really thinking that is kind of a new business model. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, yeah, I would
shell.
definitely agree. What do you think, MindSpace?
Well, so it's like a shell company or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Correct, yeah.
This is like a corporate NGO. This is like a satellite corporation that is just, giving the party line, and maybe it kind of seems like it's trendy and organic, but maybe it's something like these things are floated out there and done so by a small, startup company, because they don't want to the larger corporations don't want to necessarily associate it with themselves first. So they will test it out, let's say, and see, they're okay with letting a company sink or swim, but it's a way to maybe take the temperature of the public. Will they accept this kinds of nonsense and weird stuff, in the products? I don't know. That's just one conjecture. I'm not saying that it's that deep, but, one could speculate to that extent.
Yeah, and you got to wonder about the what do you call that, Wandering Wolf? The test marketing group or whatever. Like, they tested on a bunch of people, right?
Focus groups, yeah.
Focus group, yeah. Like, how did this go down in the focus group? Like, did it pass the focus group and the board? I mean, this is how does this happen?
Well, I mean, we're living in an era really where, and I've seen this happen. I mean, with a lot of focus groups, there's really no point in even doing them anymore, because there are people who make a living just from attending focus groups. So they'll answer all this online surveys, they'll bullshit their way through the selection process to be in the focus group, and they'll walk away getting paid $500 to spend 8 hours testing a product and answering out surveys. So focus groups have kind of just become another way of doing Uber or Postmates, So you're not really getting accurate data from holding a focus group.
Yeah, that's and I can't blame the people that do that. It used to be you would go down to make that kind of money and you would like donate sperm or donate an egg, or God forbid you go and be the guinea pig for an mRNA biotechnology jab of some sort that hasn't been tested on pregnant women or children or any humans for that matter, in any sort of meaningful long-term way. So yeah, I guess eating the menstrual marshmallow crunch, shout out to Just Cuz, is way more palpable and less dangerous probably than going down and being involved in one of those pharmaceutical experiments. But maybe that's passe now, because they say 60, 70, 80% of humans have done that by coercion anyways now.
So I went to the LinkedIn. I found some really interesting articles. I guess they have a big campaign against, I guess, men that don't want to have sex with their women during period.
Okay. That needed a
it's-
campaign, huh?
Yeah. So I posted an article, stupid article that they posted on their LinkedIn. 22-year-old guy believes period comes from butts. Mansplains how anatomy work when his dates agree with him. Doesn't agree with him. And or make, I guess, like a 22-year-old stupid kid thought that period come from the butt. Who really like a 22-year-old that believe that a period come from the butt? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And then another article, 4 reasons why having sex on your period is good, as experts share saucy tips. And I guess they're using that to advertise for their cup, to say, hey, you can have sex during your period without a mess. So it's you can see it, that, like, how they are trying to build their whole campaign around their products. So.
Yeah, I see what you're saying here. All right, I got those links. I put them on the screen, and I will put them on the show notes for tonight's show.
Why is that even like in the public? Like, what, when people want to have sex, they should be able to either say yes or no, or I want to do what I want to do now for this reason or that reason, or no, I don't want to do what I want. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's different. It's not like everybody should have to feel obligated to do that when they want to, or the opposite. It's ridiculous.
We need guidance to navigate these complicated life situations from the geniuses
Right.
on the interwebs,
Yeah, it have to be said to you from the moral authorities.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Don't think for yourself, Spore. That's way too you're crazy over here, getting out of control.
All right.
You want to have preference? Come on. There's no preference.
Right. Personal boundaries in my own sex life. I think I need a good cereal company to come along and tell me how to work that. Maybe I don't know how to set up my own boundaries in life. Maybe my boundaries aren't politically correct.
You can learn lessons from the guy that thinks periods come from butts. That's the level that we're at here with this shit. Seriously.
All right. Whitebird in the chat says, how about them Seahawks?
How about them Seahawks, everybody? In other news, the weather is hot out here in Texas. Yeah. All right.
One last thing, just because this is really. So they have an article that's posted on their website, actually June 8th. What dads need to know about their daughter's first period. I think I don't know what they are treating men as if they don't know anything, and they actually we have to sit there and listen to them and actually be educated from this company. It's sort of annoying me, actually.
Yeah, it's very condescending, isn't it?
Yeah. So here is 6 different ways you can prepare your daughter for her first period. Learn the ins and outs of periods. Make a period kit for your daughter. Tell her the periods aren't shameful. Don't get too caught up in the negative symptoms. If something doesn't seem normal, visit a professional. Celebrate. I mean, I don't know.
It really seems archaic to me. I don't know.
Just like, why do I
don't know anybody that that feels
shames their daughter about their periods.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, archaic, and also the projection of someone's personal trauma onto everyone else, onto all of society. You know, it's one person who she had a particular issue with this in her adolescence, and so now she has to make it a mission in life to make sure it never happens to anyone else. It's just complete projective identification. In when you have a culture as well that makes the mundane into a teachable moment. I mean, sitting down and having breakfast has to be some teachable moment where we're talking about these issues that are really non-issues. It's just bizarre and cultish.
I like what you said, dude. It is a trauma projection. That's what it feels like exactly.
Yeah.
Also, it's a Swedish company, so if that gives anything.
I kind of don't get that why it says it's a Swedish company, but it comes from Los Angeles at the same time.
I don't know.
I guess everything has to get filtered through there if it's super extreme.
It's probably
Yeah.
code for something.
Right.
Like, what?
Actually, Ruckus, you're probably not wrong about that, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means it's been vetted by our betters. It's been vetted by the people who've decided that this is culturally relevant and appropriate and something that you should care about. It's just another virtue signal. It's just another semiotic.
Or it was
Exactly.
written by an AI program, because those things aren't completely perfect yet. They're pretty damn close, though.
They are pretty amazing, man. I found this program, actually, our listener Shredder turned me onto this website where you can type in literally anything. Like you could type in, for example, Joe Biden riding on a bear in the style of Rembrandt, and it'll generate a 9-panel image. Like the AI will generate a 9-panel image based on your search term, whatever it is. And it's hilarious. Actually, we spent the entire Hessian session last Saturday just laughing our asses off at some of the stuff that came out of some of these insane searches. Like one of my favorite ones, the search was something to the effect of a Cenobite at a gender reveal party in hell surrounded by rainbows and fire. Like you could type in something like that, like basically a paragraph almost, and the images it came up with were just amazing. Fantastic.
Did you try this yourself?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to check and make sure. All right, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I vetted it. He was sharing screenshots from other people's searches, and at first I was like, all right, I'm just going to enjoy this, and eventually I saw so many, I was like, I got to try it. So I went in there and I started typing stuff. You know, I was like, Putin riding a bear, jousting with Biden, you know, on an elephant, stuff like that. And like, they're not all perfect. They're definitely, like, some of them, it's not as smart with some things as it is with others. Like, what's Corey Drayton? Do you recall the name of the actor that played Willow?
Oh, you mean Warwick Davis?
Yeah, Warwick Davis. Like that AI, it is really good with Warwick Davis. Like you could type in Warwick Davis in the style of, you know, insert artist here and in a situation, and come up with all kind of crazy stuff. I'll see if I can't pull some of that up later in the show and show you guys. But yeah, back to Ruckus's point, the AI. Yeah, I could see AI generating a business idea like this instead of a person. I wouldn't be surprised, man. All right. Well, anyone else want to throw in on an icebreaker before we move along here?
Yes, one last question to prove that all of you men on this call are ignorant. When is Menstrual Hygiene Day? Do you know what day of the year is it? The International Menstrual Hygiene Day.
Is it on the 69th?
Nope, it's the 28th of May. And every one of you needs to celebrate it.
Okay. All right. Everybody put that on your calendar. You know what? Most calendars these days, they have all the insane stuff that aren't real holidays on them. They come packed with them already. I wish I could figure out how to turn that off. I don't necessarily
there is something
know.
every day of the year to celebrate. It's
right. Like we had
ridiculous.
Donut Day the other day. I think Ruckus actually synchronistically bought a donut on Donut Day, and you don't eat
Did you?
donuts all that often.
Did you, Ruckus?
Well, it was the day after. I think we were a day late. So,
Oh
Oh,
man,
yeah.
that's my fault.
a day late and a donut short, I guess. But there's a when I used to be heavy onto doing social media stuff for the company I work for, as well as other things, clients or whatever, or just myself, I would go to this website that's like National Calendar Day or something. There's a holiday for every damn day of the year. Anything you could think of. Today might be like bow tie day. So I would go look up, ahead of time, what's the day going to be tomorrow, and I'd pick one and I'd make some sort of picture or meme based around that, and put up a hashtag or whatever. But man, I was amazed at how many ridiculous, stupid holidays there are. And anyone can go create a holiday and register it as a holiday. So maybe we should do that. We should pick a day, like make it an official holiday, like ACR Day.
Hey, I like it. I like it. That's a good idea, man. All right, since I went down this rabbit hole, let me just share this with you guys and with the viewing audience here. Here's some examples of this AI I'm talking about. There's one that was generated on the search. Donald Trump does a board slide on a skateboard down the handrail exiting Air Force One. Right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good for an AI generated thing here. Let's see what else we got. We've got Terminator eats a cheeseburger. Not bad. Not bad. I'll go through them quickly so the audio listeners don't hate us. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. This is the one I was telling you about. Cenobite's LGBT pride gender reveal in hell, lit by flames and fire. I mean, look how smart that AI is, man. It's got rainbow fire and flames. Looks a little more like smoke, but hey, it's the thought that counts. What else do we got? We got, there it is, Joe Biden painted by Salvador Dali. I mean, these are classic. We got, oh, this is another good one here. An obese American fights for his rights inside a McDonald's. They're
Oh
pure
my
hellscapes.
God.
They're
Oh my
pure
God.
hellscapes generated by AI. Oh, this is another favorite. Donald Trump at Pee Wee's Playhouse. Klaus Schwab in Silent Hill. So you can throw a video game name in there. What else? Donald Trump smoking a bong. There you go. Ronald McDonald is a Cenobite murdering hamburgers in hell, lit by flowing blood. I mean, you gotta love that stuff. All right, enough of that. Okay, so I tell you what. Let's do something a little bit different here. And before we go to intermission, I and Ruckus, I see you got a smoke lit ready to go there. So let me go to you first. I'm gonna go around the room. I'm gonna put everybody on the spot here. So Ruckus, everybody's gonna know what's gonna happen except for you. Ruckus, we have all kinds of new listeners and new viewers out there. We're on new platforms. Give us the abbreviated origin story of Ruckus, or else something listeners and viewers may not know about Ruckus.
Wow, you got me. Okay, how about this? Why I chose the name Ruckus? Most people don't know this. I used to play video games on, I believe it was the PlayStation 3, and when I had to sign up for a user account on the PlayStation Network, I tried using my name and every combination of numbers I could think of, and my cat that I had at the time's name was Ruckus, so I went with Ruckus-7. And then years later, when I met Hesher and Spore hanging out in a chat room at not another, but at an alternative media group, I needed a username, so I went with Ruckus, and it just kind of stuck. So that's the origin, literally, of Ruckus.
All right, there you go. Wandering Wolf, how about you, man? What's the origin story behind Corey Drayton, behind the Wandering Wolf, or give us something that new viewers may not know about you?
Interesting question. Yeah, origin story of Wandering Wolf. Well, I've been listening to ACR since the very beginning. I was a lurker for a very long time, and then about a year and a half ago, I was emerging from a battle with a major illness. Cancer, and I ended up working on this documentary film that was all about kind of deconstructing wokeness and giving this argument that the wokies are just religious zealots of another kind. And I ended up sharing it with Hesher and Spore. And next thing you know, I'm hanging out in the boiler room talking about all kinds of interesting issues of culture and semiotics. And well, now here I am.
All right, nice one. Hey, and if that sounds intriguing to anyone, do check the Alternate Current Radio YouTube channel, and you can find that interview that he's referencing right there. It's along with one of our other colleagues, Mr. Travis Brown. Shout out to Travis, and he is the guy that directed that docuseries. Highly recommend it, especially if you're dealing with the woke. If you got a lot of woke people in your life, or if you have to take your kids to a school that's all woke or whatever, you might get some benefit out of that, or at least just know that you're not alone in resisting this blight upon our society. Thank you there, Wandering Wolf. MindSpaceArt, over to you, man. Give us your origin story or a fun factoid that viewers and listeners may not know.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I've shared this with Hesher and Spore, but listeners may not know that I went to a very woke college. I went to a woke university. I was amongst those kinds of people, those professors, for 4 long, arduous, and frightful years of my life, truly. And I thankfully, I don't remember exactly how it was, but I stumbled upon the Boiler Room, Alternate Current Radio, 21 Wire, and I just found this nexus of people to be speaking from the heart, authentic, telling the truth, and just trying to figure out what was going on. So, I spent a lot of time, many years listening, and I'm very thankful for everything that everybody who's contributed to this network has, done and had an great impact in my life in really profound ways. And if you want to know something that maybe people don't know about me, it would be that for a time, I was truly an aspiring SoundCloud rapper and a musician. And so I still have a bunch of songs that I made during that period of my life. And maybe if some night, we break out the champagne, I will, willingly embarrass myself in front of the crowd here. So maybe that day will come. But thanks for everything here.
All right. Well, now that you put that out there, watch out. We're going to be asking for it next time we have one of our 420 parties or something like that. So MindSpace did what briefly did being a Social Reject Club member, a Boiler Room listener, did that help you in the woke college experience, or did it
no. I mean
black pills.
Hold on. How did it help? Right? I mean, that's kind of the question, right? Because there's give and take with that. I mean, I became much more salient in my reasoning, and I was seeing things as they really were. And it just gave me a lot more confidence to push back against a lot of the things that I was being told. And so it actually, simultaneously created a lot of conflict in my life, to lean into learning. But at the same time, and there's been a lot of pain in my life because of that. just in personal relationships, people that I knew in school, old high school friends and everything. But I have emerged from that other side of that, and dealing with all that pain and the conflicts that arose. And, I can truly say that I, have an independent mind. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't have because they didn't choose to struggle. They didn't choose to listen to people who are offering an alternative viewpoint. And, I think especially people in my age group, like, they're very resistant to that. So it's made me the odd man out, like our friend here. But it's all made all the difference in my life. So can recommend.
All right, there you go. There you go. Thanks, MindSpace. We appreciate you very much. Odd man out. How about you, dude? What's the origin of the odd man, the oddcast, or fun fact about you?
Well, my first memory, I was swimming around in this liquid, and everybody else there looked just like me. Oh, wait a minute. I think I was in my dad's testicles. That's too far back. So,
We would need some
so
cereal to describe that aspect of your life, I think. But carry on.
So, long story short, I was in a band for over 10 years, rock band, heavy metal band. That kind of broke off and I began to make my own music. But during that whole time, even way back to the days of MySpace, I was complaining about politics online and nobody would listen to me. And as I got into more of the conspiratorial and the deeper side, I'll say, of things, I guess I just got weirder and even less people would listen to me. Long story short, I guess it was in 2019, I started an Instagram, and one of the guys on there who's no longer on there anymore, he kept telling me I should do a podcast. And I've been thinking about it. I was a big Boiler Room fan, big No Agenda fan, loved podcasts, but I just didn't have the balls. And he kept at me. And so I finally did it. And here we are. And Hesher and Spore found me on Instagram, and eventually I joined the Social Rejects, and it's been awesome ever since. So that's where I am.
All right. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure to have you along with us for the ride. And a big shout out to your friend there that pushed you out of the nest. I know that feeling. Patrick Henningsen did that to me, and I felt like a bird that couldn't quite fly yet for a bit there. But look at us now, soaring along here into season 8 of the Boiler Room. 8 years later. Shout out to Patrick also. Yeah, all right, great one, Oddman, great one. By the way, is your music up? Can our metalheads get out and find your band still?
Yeah, it's actually, if you go to reverbnation.com/ We Are the Conspiracy. That was the title of the band. We Are the Conspiracy.
Nice. All right, everybody. So you know where to go now. Get on out there and check it out. And also, Oddman, the lead-in track to the Oddcast, that's an original tune there by you, right?
Yeah, that's all me. Like I recorded a bunch of songs by myself, and most of those songs online are just me. But if they have a good solo, they're probably me and my brother who plays really good guitar.
All right. Excellent. Well, shout out to the Odd Brother also. Okay, let's Infidel Pharaoh, over to you, man. Give the listeners a little something about Infidel Pharaoh they may not know.
Well, I came from a tomb in one of the pyramids back in this far, far place called Egypt. I guess I never belonged. I never felt I belonged anywhere, actually, as a matter of fact. But I could never fit in that society. I wanted to be in a free place. I wanted to be free to think and express who I am. And as I searched and searched and searched, there is one nation that came up that I was like, yeah, that's a place I can be. And I ended up in this country. and through a long journey of self-finding, and I turned to be an infidel, as you can tell from my name. Went from being was always a classical liberal, I would say. But as I start seeing really the reality of things and start getting more outside of the mainstream and see things for what they are, I would say that journey started in 2014 about the political system and really the reality of what's happening. I would say maybe actually 2013 was in the second term of Obama. You know, as I searched through the interwebs, I found you guys actually through my wife. She recommended you to me. I listened to you and we got hooked up, and what I've been in the BR since 2016. So about 6 years now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
we've seen it. We've seen it in that 6 years too, haven't we? We've been through a lot, man. It's been an interesting and crazy ride.
It is. It really is, and it's. You know, I'm one of those people that are not. I'm always okay to change my views once I'm proven wrong, but I'm also pretty strong. Someone that will always express their current views very strongly, and I'm always vocal about it. You know, so some people don't like that, but this is who I am. When I believe in something, I believe in it, and when I see it for what it is, I just call myself and say, "Hey, I grew up, and I'm out of that, and this is my current thoughts." So that's a brief about Infidel.
There you go. There you have it. That's Infidel Pharaoh, everybody. And yeah, man, that's real well said. And the thing you forgot to mention is that you always keep a good humor and respect throughout that process that you just described there. We love that about you. Challenge people, accept challenges, and maintain cool. You know, that's something that's can be somewhat rare in the content creator realm. So yeah, thanks for all you do over here, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. That's Infidel Pharaoh, everybody. All right, let's go to Chopper. Chopper, what's the backstory here, man? Tell us something we don't know.
Well, I'm just some dude. I'm a machinist. I live in the desert.
Some dude from the desert with guns on the chest. That's all you need to know.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's an interesting one. Those tattoos are my two pistols, and I have my daughter's names on each barrel.
All right. Nice. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, anyways, I listened to the show and interacted with you guys, and we became friends, and you invited me on, and here we are. And
that's right.
I enjoy it.
That's right, man. We met Chopper in the web chat, and it was me and Chopper hit it off right away. Chopper hits it off with most people he meets right away, I think, but we definitely hit it off right away. Spore did, I did, everyone in the chat did, and it was just like a no-brainer. It was like, why are you not on this show, dude? Come on, get in here.
Well, I'm glad you guys talked me into that, because I was actually listening to you guys earlier thinking, now I miss sitting here listening to you guys sometimes, or I'll be listening like to the show live or the next day, and I'll find myself I swear I start talking like you can hear me.
Talking into the radio like we're live right now, huh?
Yeah. I don't know why I just catch myself doing that once in a while.
It's a gut reaction. It's a visceral thing. I know what you mean. I talk at the podcast too sometimes when I'm just listening. It happens.
So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, man. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for joining us tonight. That's Chopper, everybody. I'm going to head over to the one and only very lovely Spore. Lovely Spore. For any new listeners or longtime listeners, do you got a a Sporigin story or anything about you that the listeners may not know that you think they might be interested in?
Oh, I can do both real quick. Something that people probably don't know about me, I was a roadie for a Christian, so-called Christian, super liberal rock band in high school and junior high.
Yeah.
And the origin of Spore, the Sporigin, I was really into raving from ages like 16 to 20. And I was also going to college when I was 19. And I learned about fungus. And I learned that spores can just drop out of the mushroom and float off into the atmosphere and land somewhere else and create a whole colony. So I had this whole idea, because I started learning how to mix vinyl and stuff, that I'd be like this DJ and travel and stuff like that. So I named myself DJ Spore. And that carried on to when we, like Ruckus mentioned, met Ruckus and we're listening to a different network. And I just carried that name on with me because I didn't want people to know my real name, because we talk about controversial things and I just didn't want my government name out there.
There you go. Thanks, Spore. Yeah. What a journey, Spore, right? We never knew when we were just basically like Ruckus. We were just in a chat room all of a sudden and needed a name. And it was like, we just pulled them out real quick, names we had used in the past and whatnot. And same goes for me. I went to college at Humboldt State and there were no metalheads there except for me and like two others. And I was walking around what they call the Arcata Square. It's where all the bars are and the donut shop and the patchouli shops and the Dreamcatcher shops and all that stuff. And I was wearing a Carcass long sleeve t-shirt. Carcass, for those of you that don't know, is a metal band from Liverpool. Awesome metal band. And I was walking with my my roommate at the time. He's kind of a Jim Morrison vibe about him. He fit in better in Humboldt than I did aesthetically. So I'm, here I am walking with him, and I don't know, he's probably wearing some like hippie patchwork pants, and I'm wearing like, camouflage pants and like German tanker boots and a Carcass long sleeve shirt. And I hear this dude yell at me from all the way across the square, and he's like, "Hey, Hesher, dude!" And I had never. That was the first time I had heard that term. And I went, went to introduce myself. Oh man, it's great to meet another metalhead in this town full of hippies. That's awesome. Shout out to my buddy Eli if he's out there. That's who that was. And I was like, "What do you mean, Hesher? Like that's I haven't heard this one. I've heard, all the slang terms for metalheads." And he's like, like that Christopher Walken movie where he played the vampire guy, like, the origin story of that guy. He was like a Hessian warrior. And they're like, just very dirty, gritty warrior types that kind of fits the aesthetic of metalheads, at least back then it did. So, that kind of stuck at that point, at least stuck in my mind, and it was a handle used many times. And so that's the origin of my handle. And let's see, what is something people may not know about me? I also was concerned about my government name being used in political podcasts, patriot podcasts, whatever you might want to call what it was we were into back in 2011 when we got started. Because I had a government job. I was working for the Navy, and I was in the middle of getting a master's degree from one of their schools. So, and this was like right when WikiLeaks was big in the news. Like it became like WikiLeaks became a problem to the government and to the narratives out there. And I recall getting emails at work saying that we were not allowed to even look at that website. And I was just like, I remember I was totally in shock. It was like, what do you mean we can't look at a website? That doesn't make sense. That's ridiculous. But it definitely put a little bit of hesitation in me about using my name and my face and everything. Luckily, we're that ship has long since sailed, and I don't have those concerns anymore. and nor should any of you out there at this point, because guess what? All your data is in the big data cloud. It's all being grinded through by AIs and corporate entities and government entities. And we'll probably talk about that a little bit more on the other side of the break here, because there's some breaking news about Biden's Department of Homeland Security and their Disinformation Governance Board. That's something we've been talking about here in the Boiler Room a bit. So we got some breaking news over at 21stcenturywire.com on that story. So on the other side of the break, we'll hit that, and maybe, just maybe, we'll go into the globalist path to a one world order topic. Also, there's another great article over there I want to point everybody to by Freddie Ponton, one of our friends in Sunday Wire. But we'll save that for after the intermission here. We're going to take an intermission, everybody. So thanks, everyone, for joining us out there on YouTube. If you're watching live tonight on YouTube, you're going to want to catch the second half of the show on our Rockfin channel. So be sure and bookmark that so you've got quick access to it as we move on. We'll probably make a trend out of this. It's Rockfin, that's ROKFIN.com/boiler room. That's where you'll see the live stream start up over there. And apologies to the Rockfin chat room. I haven't had my eyes on that tonight, but it's good to see some familiar faces over there at Rockfin. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with some more Boiler Room. Everybody take 5, take 10, take whatever you need. Streams are going to cut except for Spreaker. If you're just listening on Spreaker, just stay tuned. And otherwise, keep an eye out for that new stream to start up over there on Rockfin. You're listening to the Boiler Room, everybody. We'll be back.
You're listening to Boiler Room on AlternateCurrentRadio.com.
All right, gang on the call. Go ahead and leave the studio if you like here. I'm going to end this broadcast, and I'll send you a new link. All right. Smoke them if you got them.